Hi, I'm Andrew Minto from Landhaven. Welcome to our latest project here in the South Gloucestershire Greenbelt. Welcome to Alveston. The site originally was just scrubland. It was wild, it was not looked after, it was abandoned, neglected. What first attracted me originally to this site was actually the previous owners asked me to come and help them with planning permission. What I saw here that others didn't is the potential to solve some of the technical problems. So it's a lovely site in a lovely location, but there are lots of technical problems to make it work as a home. And I could just see different ways of solving those. I had experience from other sites, other projects, knowing how those issues could be unlocked. It was really important to create a positive outcome for the Gardner family because I had such a personal connection with them. The dad, Peter Gardner, was very ill when he asked me to help him do something with the land, get planning permission for the benefit of his wife and their two children. And unfortunately, he passed away, but that promise to help them remains. So it was really important for me to see the project through for their benefit. The biggest challenges with the site initially was in getting planning permission. So the location is a greenbelt and the access is also a public right of way and a bridle way. It's also a sensitive location. There's other properties, old properties around. So initially the challenge was getting planning permission. It was important to persevere with the site because there are challenges here that couldn't all be sorted out overnight. Some had to be approached carefully, slowly. You know, we've had to work with neighbours, so I couldn't rush them. So it was important to persevere and face each challenge, get each challenge ticked off.
So some of the biggest challenges on the site were the ground conditions. Below 6 inches of soil, we hit rock, which needed bigger machinery to come in, excavate it, drilling, which to get to a certain depth to allow for the concrete foundations. We also had an issue going through a neighbouring garden, the same problem, rock 6 inches down. We had to go 60 metres through someone's garden at 800 mil deep, which wasn't an easy feat, and to keep the job tidy, keep the neighbours happy and bring services through. So on this job we had to collaborate with a lot of different trades. So for example, the foundations, which we undertook ourselves, which was fine, but we had to get everything ready for the bricklayers to come in. The bricklayers had to understand the quality of the build we were looking for, and making sure that all materials are delivered on time, so we didn't delay them in any way. We got up to wall plate relatively quick, so then we could bring the roofers in. Again, it's all this, the next phase, the roofers come in, then we've got to collaborate with the tilers, and after that, we've got the dry liners come in. So there's lots of people we collaborate with on a project like this, and to manage them, and then it makes life easier when you have a relationship with these guys who have been doing it a long time and they've worked with us before, and we can build for a successful build.
There's a huge team that go into making a project like this possible, from the builders and the building team and the architects and the professional team, right through to investors who are a crucial part of making the project possible.
My name's Karen Norman. I'm Landhaven's marketing manager and I'm an investor in the Landhaven project at Alveston. It's been a real interesting insight for me to see the inside working of a property development company and all of the detail that goes in before even the foundations are laid. It's really refreshing to see a property development company working like this, really taking the time to really understand the landowners and sellers, the potential investors, the people who ultimately live in the properties, as well as all the other partners and stakeholders that are involved in a development.
I'm Jeff Wallace. My wife and I have been investing in Landhaven for several years. I've run a small business, been a contractor for 30 years, and I know how difficult it is to run projects like this and produce good quality and consistent quality at the end of the day. And Landhaven have done this consistently. This is the third project I've seen to completion with them. And that is something that's extremely important to me as an investor. So I think that is something that I've grown to rely on and certainly to value very highly. It's really important to visit these projects during the course of the work and see what is going on, frankly, and this has been really very reassuring. The quality is built in right from the very beginning, from the design stage, from the foundations upwards. And I've been privileged to visit here 3 times and see the work that's been going on. And frankly, to understand what the problems are. As an investor, I need to know the bad news as well as the good news, and to see how the difficulties, whether they be planning or technical difficulties or financial difficulties, are being managed. And they've been managed very professionally, and I'm very impressed. And my wife and I are looking forward to making our 4th investment here.
So details and finishes to the bungalow are high standard. We've gone for high-spec electric gates to the entrances. We've gone for high-spec driveway, permeable driveways.
Some examples of sustainable build are lots of things to do with energy. So we've got photovoltaic panels, we've got air source heat pump, we've got huge amounts of insulation in the building, and all of that reduces the energy that the building needs. But also in terms of nature and biodiversity, what we've done is take a very low biodiverse scrubland and improve that by creating a nature corridor. So we've got a nature corridor at the end of our gardens, which has introduced a pond, native wildflowers, hiberniciculum, and a route for animals like hedgehogs to come through the gardens and get out into the open space beyond.
For me, property development is all about quality, and one of the challenges we see in the market is often properties are developed purely where profit is the main driver, and as a consequence of that, often quality is sacrificed. Commercial success and a positive outcome at the end is, getting that balance right is it's challenging, but it can be done, and that's one of the things at Landhaven. That's what we want to do. All the projects we approach, we always look at the commercial aspect of what we're doing, make sure it stacks up. But at the end of the day, also, what we want to do is to create something that we can be proud of. So at the end, when we've got a product or something that's been built out, and we've got people moving into that property, we can be very, self-assured in ourselves that we've got a great product and that the client's going to be very happy with it in years to come.
In a project like this, high spec to me means excellent materials, excellent finish, excellent work, especially in the stuff that you can't see, but as well as the finished product that you do see. But also, high quality build means spaces that feel good. So what we've tried to create is height and light and interest, angles, and all of that together is what high quality build means to me.
Hello, my name's Jonathan Grant and I'm a director of Milbury's Estate Agents in Thornbury. Overall, the attention to detail and quality elevate the specification of these properties above so many of the contemporary homes within the village. Details such as the brickwork around the doorway, the photovoltaic panels, the air source heat pump, the views.
I live in a 1930s house, so it's very interesting for me to come and look at a house of modern design and construction. And I have to say I'm really impressed. The use of space is absolutely brilliant. This is not a very big site, in fact, but the house internally seems very spacious.
Now that the project's finished and the 2 eco bungalows are looking amazing, it's fantastic walking up to them, seeing the 2 big sliding electric gates, walking in, seeing the high vaulted ceilings, the beautiful bathrooms, en suites, the lovely island, beautiful kitchen. You can really imagine somebody really enjoying and living in this space for many, many years to come.
Really proud of what the team has done, the quality of the build, the individuality of each of the bungalows, and just the sort of small tweaks that make the bungalows different. And the long-term energy efficiency of both properties, really impressive, and taking into account the modern technology as well that we put into the properties. Really, really excited about what the future holds for Landhaven, but also for hearing the stories of the families that will be living in these properties.
To take a difficult, overlooked site and turn it into homes that people will genuinely enjoy living in for decades, while also creating value for the original family, investors, and the wider area, that is what Landhaven is all about.